Dear viewers, everybody is in the process of accumulating money. Everybody believes more the money, more the happiness. People believe that the money alone can bring happiness in your life. Many people do not understand money has a limitation. Money can give you a lot of options, but the money cannot solve all the problems that you have in your life. If the purpose of life is pursuit of happiness, what is the role of money in it? How can you create happiness with money as a part of it? In this episode, I'm going to examine all aspects of how money can bring happiness to you and what is the limitations the money exhibits in your pursuit of happiness. This is NRI Money Clinic for you, and I am Dr. Chandrakant Bhatt, your financial guide for a happy living.
NRI Money Clinic. No hype, just the right advice.
We all do financial planning. We try to grow your money. We try to see how much you can accumulate money. A crucial question that comes in our mind is, can money solve all your problems? If you have money, can you say that anything and everything that you want in your life will happen on its own? Can it get everything that you want in your life? Then you can say, if I have more money, then it creates more happiness. If you have less money, it creates less happiness. In reality, if money can create more happiness as more and more money you accumulate, then we can say money is the root cause of happiness. Then you can make earning money the pursuit of life as your purpose of life. But if you check through, the evidence is not in favor of it. There is something which makes you happy. There are many things which still makes money a constraint, money a hurdle in your pursuit of happiness. Let's deep dive into this problem and see what money can do for you and where does money work as a hurdle for you. Let's look at the life of beginners. Somebody who has started his job or somebody who has well educated. He has come from a poor family. He has not seen a lot of money. Now he has started career. He sees cash coming into his life. For most people, I won't hesitate to say 99% of the people who start their career, they are short of money to start with. They have a limited resource of money. There are many things that they need to do. They want to do so many things. They want to buy a vehicle, they want to travel, they want to buy the latest clothes, watch, electronic gadgets and all these things. But the salary that they bring in is not sufficient for this. All the time they will think my salary should rise, I should get a raise, I should get bonus. If I had a more salary, probably I could do more things. In this case, the money works in their favor. There are people who live in shared accommodation. People go out of India, they come to Middle East, they live in shared accommodation because whatever the salaries that they are drawing, that is not sufficient enough for them to live in an independent accommodation, be it owned, be it the rented one. They always think, I'm staying in a shared accommodation. What if I'm able to move to an independent place? The extra cash they are able to further on will add value in their life and they can upgrade themselves. Likewise, people who live in studio apartment would aspire to go for 1 BHK. People in 1 BHK to 2 BHK, 2 BHK to multiple BHK depending on what happens in your life. In all these cases, as you move up the ladder in your life, the additional money that comes in your life will add meaning to it because it can give you that extra things which you always waited for. Can this equation go on completely throughout your life? So more the money you earn and it can add value to you? The answer is probably no. Now, to support my case, let me examine the life of another set of people. There are a lot of rich people and many of them are happy. The happiness that is there in the lives of several rich persons, is the root cause of that happiness the money? The answer could be yes, but that hides a lot of things. The money could have taken a lot of issues which normally affect a lot of people. Because they have got the money, they are not worried about vehicle, not worried about dresses, not worried about vacation, not worried about what they want to do. But their source of happiness comes from things which are beyond money as well. For example, an industrialist could be working with a great passion. He could be working on an idea which can revolutionize life. He could be working with the passion that he has given employment to a lot of people. His happiness could be his family. His happiness could be his children. His happiness could be the respect that he is deriving from his employees, from his society, from his country, from his industry. So the happiness is not coming from money alone. If money is the only root cause of happiness in the lives of rich people, then every rich person should have been a happy person. Is that the case? The answer is no. You see a lot of problems in the rich families. There are people who commit suicide. There are people who go through divorces, separations, litigations. There are people who get into ethical issues. You have seen people like Mallyas and the Choksis. They have ran away from India. They have borrowed a lot of money. It's an ethical issue. It's a question of losing your respect. You had lots of money. You could have shaped up your life very well. But in spite of all that, the happiness did not come in favor of them. Likewise, when the wealth is too much, it also takes a toll on many of the children. You have heard about something called spoiled brats, or the children getting everything that they want, and they develop an ego, they develop an aura around them, they don't have a drive to excel, they don't have the normal growth mechanism that happens in the lives of other people. Children get spoiled and they can become a burden on the society, burden on the families as well. So in these cases, you can also see money, instead of solving the problem, money instead of giving happiness, money can also become the root cause of problem. So don't be under the impression that money only solves problem. Money can also give rise to a lot of problems as well. So it is very obvious to say, in the initial phase of your life, you do not have money, then money adds value to you. You don't have money, some money comes that has a value. You accumulate a lakh, it has a value. You accumulate 10 lakhs, it has value. You accumulate a crore of rupees, it has value. Probably a few more crore or rupees, you can find value around that. But when it becomes too much, you realize the extra money that I have is not going to add any extra happiness or any extra value in your life. It's obvious at some point of time, money loses its value from what you really need from life. I'm a practitioner of personal finance. My duty involves seeing people. Day in and day out, people keep coming to me. People ask me, show me an investment which gives me a high rate of return. Show me an investment which gives me so much of a cash flow. How do I handle them? A simple question is, I ask them, I can help you with whatever I can, but tell me the reason why you want to do this. For me as a practitioner, for them to stay on the course, for them to get happiness out of what they do, they have to show me the purpose behind doing that investment. For me, I will always ask my people, you want to start a saving plan? It's okay. But tell me, what is your spending plan? Never ever start a saving plan unless you have a spending plan to take place at some point of time in future. If you don't want to spend money, ask yourself the question, why do you have to earn that money? So your saving plan has to be matched with another spending plan. If you don't have a spending plan, it's a sign that you are accumulating more money than what you really require. What happens when you acquire too much of money? Now, in the recent past, we have heard about this story of demonetization. There are a lot of people who kept that black cash, the currencies in their cupboards, hidden all over. And the government did this demonetization of the old 500 and 1000 rupees notes, and all that cash you could not declare it, and it was useless for you beyond the stipulated period of time. And you will be shocked to hear in your life too, on the last day of your life, whatever that fat bank balances you leave behind, whatever the means of wealth that you have accumulated will also become demonetized because you cannot use this money during your life. It's obvious it is going to happen. But if you had a saving plan and you had matched it with a spending plan, every time you saved money, you could have utilized that money. It could be for whatever the purpose. It could be buying a bigger house, bigger vehicle. It could be for charity, educating your children, for betterment of society, or your near and dear ones, helping a friend, helping somebody is in need. All these are part of your spending plan. The extra money you earn in your life, which you leave behind on the last day of your life, is the money that gets demonetized in your life and it loses its value. Many people misunderstand wealth. They think having more money is wealth. There is a saying, and people say, he's so poor that he has got only money and nothing else. So which only goes to say, just because you have got money, you can't call yourself as a wealthy person. If money alone cannot make you a wealthy person, what else makes you a wealthy person? Let's take the example of a car. Now the car has several parts. For ease of understanding, I'll take two parts here. One is the chassis of the car, which gives stability to the car. and just the chassis cannot make the car move, nor this chassis can give the value for the car. The car also have to move. The movement can happen because of the four wheels on which it moves. Only when you have the four wheels well balanced, well structured, well suited for the size of the chassis that the car is made out of, then only it can become a vehicle which can be utilized. Where does this example come in finance? Where does it come as an example in the topic that I am discussing? The chassis, which is the fundamental structure of that car around which the entire vehicle is built, is representing the money that you have. Unless you have the required amount of money, which is adequate, which is secure, which is flowing, which is available to you whenever you want it, then only the car derives its stability. Your financial life, your social life, and everything depends on the strength of this chassis or the money that you have accumulated. But this alone cannot make your life move around. Now let's look at the example of what else should be there in your life to call yourself as a wealthy person. Let's look at tire number one, the wheel number one. The wheel represents here health. You have lots of money, but if you are a cabbage inside and you can't do anything about it. I narrate to you a small incident which happened in my own life a few weeks before. I went through a dental procedure. I was in a terrible pain for a few days. In spite of all the good things that are happening in our life, for those days when I was crying out in pain, nothing, money, fame, videos, meeting people, nothing could make me happy. All that I was waiting was, when will I get out of this pain? Health becomes extremely important. If you do not have health and you have got tons of money, it's useless. The first wheel of wealth is the health. So invest just not in money, invest also in your health. Whatever it takes, it could be practicing a diet, maintaining active lifestyle, maintaining good thoughts. Whatever it makes you healthy, you should also invest in health as well. Now that you have got money and you have got health, will it make you completely wealthy? The answer is no. You need other things. What does the second wheel represent? The second wheel represents the time. You have got money, you have got health. But if you don't have time for what you want to do, how can you utilize it? And if your wife says they have to go for a movie or a wedding or some family function or just an outing towards a beach or some place, and if you don't have time, your health and your money will not come to your help. So it can't be utilized. So when you have got money, it should be matched with health, and you should also create space which can give you the time to utilize the benefits of these two. Now we have three components of wealth: money, health, and time. What's the fourth and the fifth component of wealth? The third wheel is your ability to spend money. One of the things I have observed during my working sphere is people work hard, they accumulate money, they find happiness with their bank balances, mutual funds, properties, and other things. A day will come where they have to spend this money. They have to send their children to school, they have to buy a vehicle, they have to buy a property or whatever it is. And they suddenly see, I have spent so much of the money. And they start becoming unhappy. In your pursuit of wealth, when you have accumulated money, consciously practice one thing: a desire to spend the money. If you do not have a desire to spend the money, what happens is your happiness comes from seeing your bank balances, but when you spend that money, that happiness evaporates. So you can find value for your money only when you spend it. You can describe your spending the way you want it. It could be buying an ice cream, it can be giving out to a charity or anything for that matter. When you spend money, your bank balances will dip. All throughout your wealth building journey, you should inculcate an habit to spend the money as and when required. If spending money creates unhappiness in you, you can't call yourself as a wealthy person. The last of the four wheels is represented by your relationship. Now think of a situation: you have got money, you have got health, you have got time, you have a desire to spend your money, and there is not a single person around you. Humans find happiness in sharing their thoughts with somebody else. It could be a member of your family, it could be your friend, it could be a colleague, it could be anyone. But in our pursuit of accumulating wealth, moving up the ladder, if you have spoiled our relationship and we have improved our lifestyle to such an extent, the most desirable persons in your life, which could be your childhood schoolmate, that close relative, they hesitate to come closer to you because they get ashamed that I cannot match him with the size of the house that they have, the type of vehicle he drives, the type of language he speaks, the kind of money he makes. Then you feel like fish out of water. We all need our close relations to hang around. And in our enthusiasm to accumulate that great amount of wealth, we distance from these people, then it will become a case of operation successful, patient died. You will have nobody else to talk to, be it your joy, be it the sharing of your sorrows, you will be left with no one. So it's obvious that building wealth has several parts to it: money, health, time, ability to spend money or desire to spend money, maintaining good relationship. All these things are components of wealth. If you have all of them, then you can call yourself as a wealthy person. As you realize, this is a conscious process that you have to inculcate. It's not something which comes naturally to everyone. At every stage when they accumulate money, they should put in that extra effort to see that the four other things, what I said, which are represented by the wheel, are not lost. Creation of happiness involves several things, and it's a process. Let's look at one another example. We all see movies, 2 hours, 3 hours movies, a great movie. And after seeing the movie, we are very happy. And in that movie, the climax scene does not even take a couple of minutes at the end of the movie. And when we ask ourselves, what made you enjoy that movie? Is it that the climax scene which made you happy? If that's the case, we can ask the movie guy to show you the climax scene in 2 minutes, come back happy. You will realize that's not the one which is making you happy. What makes you happy is that process from right from the first scene till the climax scene that makes you constantly watch that movie, moving from one stage to another stage and then coming to the climax is the one which makes you happy, which means the process is making you happy, not the climax scene is making you happy. Your life is also actually the same thing. When you move to the other end of the life and feel yourself, I'm a wealthy man, I've done very well, what you really notice is you have enjoyed that process of life, moving from having nothing, step by step, evolving, taking enough care so that your health does not get spoiled, you have got good relationship, you consciously see that the time is made available to you. That makes you very happy. Life, I often say, is a journey between 2 points. I call that as hurdles of life. For everyone, the story is same. These are called the journey between 2 hurdle points. Hurdle point number 1 is known as hurdle of poverty. Everyone who is born must cross this hurdle. No one should remain below the hurdle of poverty. Everyone should put their efforts, do whatever it takes, and they must cross hurdle of poverty. If you do not cross the hurdle of poverty, the basic things that you need in your life, you will be deprived of and you will not feel very happy in your life. Once you cross the hurdle of poverty, you move towards the another hurdle. This is called the hurdle of plenty. In fact, the journey between the hurdle of poverty and the hurdle of plenty is the most colorful one, where you are not deprived of the basic things. Slowly but steadily, you constantly keep improving your life and you reach a point, what I said, the money extra that you earn will not add extra happiness in your life. When you cross hurdle of plenty, I don't say that, okay, life is very beautiful only between hurdle of poverty and hurdle of plenty, and so you do not cross that. You cross it by all means. Countless people have crossed. But once you cross the hurdle of plenty, the plenty itself becomes a problem, and you require a different skill set to master the period which is beyond the hurdle of plenty. If you do not have that, then the money, the wealth, your accumulated things will all become a problem. What is the problems you encounter when you cross over from hurdle of plenty? 1, you could become an arrogant person. You could be wasting. You could be gambling. You can get into ethical issues. You could be misusing your positions. All these things could happen. There are countless people who fall prey to this hurdle of plenty. And there are countless people who lead a fantastic life beyond this point. But it requires particular personalities. We can see 2 contrasting personalities. You will look at Tatas, you look at Ajim Premji, you look at the Narayan Murthy's and Sudha Murthy. These are the people who have become humble when they have crossed the hurdle of plenty. And they are respected. They made use of their wealth for the betterment of society. They ensured that the monies are not demonetized. They knew that they don't need this money, and they productively use this money to create happiness, to help the needy, or to create jobs. And that's what made them happy. Another set of people who have run away from the country now, taking loans from the bank. What was less for them? They had everything, but the hurdle of plenty created a problem. It created ethical issues, it created arrogance, and today that has created a disaster in their life. So it takes a lot of talent. If you cross the hurdle of plenty, it's a warning sign for people. Dear viewers, hope the video that I have done today helped you to understand how you should manage your life to enjoy the fruits of wealth you are accumulating, and what are the other things beyond money which you should focus on. If you are able to focus on all these things, I have no hesitation to say you can call yourself a wealthy man at any point of time during your lifetime. If it helped you to understand this concept, then do not forget to give me a thumbs up. If you are a person who is watching my channel for the first time, hit the subscribe button, press that bell icon. Whenever I release the video, you will be notified. Thank you very much for watching this episode on NRI Money Clinic. I shall be back with you next Friday with yet another thought on your life, your money. Till then, stay safe. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Press the bell icon for more details and subscribe our channel.